Well, in the past 2 months in the United States, there have been at least 82 attacks on pro-life organizations. One of the most recent attacks took place in Massachusetts. Your Options Medical Pregnancy Center was vandalized with the phrase, "If abortions aren't safe, neither are you." It is the same phrase that has been spray painted on many other pro-life institutions nationwide. And joining us now to discuss is Joe Bukuras, staff writer for Catholic News Agency. Joe, welcome back. Always great to see you. Sadly, these attacks on pro-life organizations continue, but I understand there have been a few arrests. What can you tell us about that?
That's right, Tracy. There have been a few arrests reported on recently. St. James Francis de Chantal in Bethesda, Maryland. You might remember that one. There was a recent arson. A juvenile ended up getting arrested in that in connection with that arson. So no name was released. St. Louis Catholic Church in Bellevue, Washington. There was an arrest there as well. That arrest happened the same day. They saw Maeve Noda was the name of the perpetrator who was allegedly attacked the church and a member of the church there. St. Coleman Catholic Church, there was an arrest as well. St. John Newman in New Jersey, and St. Thomas the Apostle in Mississippi. So we've seen 5 arrests so far. As far as pro-life pregnancy centers, we haven't seen any. I haven't seen any reports of any arrests. And I've talked to CEOs of different clinics. I've talked to people on the ground. Anything. So we're keeping an eye out for that to see if any of those are going to come soon.
Joe, what about the trigger laws? More are set to take effect. How do you think things will play out there? Do you think we'll see an increase in vandalism or violence in those states?
Yeah, well, only time will tell what we're going to see, but I can tell from what we've seen so far. Like if you look at Kansas, they've got this up with this value them both amendment. And I have seen an extreme amount of vandalism to these pro-life signs that are being put in all these people's yards who are supporting the amendment. So it seems like the closer they're getting to passing a pro-life amendment, the vandalism is going up. And we think we saw the same thing before the Dobbs case was about to be dropped. So the closer they got, more vandalism there was. So again, only time will tell. But from what we've seen so far, I think the closer we get to those dates, it's possible we could see an uptick in vandalism.
I want to switch gears here just ever so slightly and talk about Massachusetts, where you are right now. I understand in Somerville, they actually banned crisis pregnancy centers because they don't offer abortions. And apparently some other cities in the state are trying to enact similar ordinances. What more can you tell us about this, Joe?
Yeah, so what's happening in different municipalities around the state here is they're passing town ordinances or city ordinances that basically say pro-life pregnancy centers, which they call limited service pregnancy centers, are not allowed to engage in what they call deceptive advertising practices. So what does that mean? Well, if you look at their ordinances, they don't define what deceptive advertising practices is. So it's basically up to whoever's enforcing the law there. And I think I saw in one of the cities, it was the city's health department. So the cities that I've tracked are Cambridge, Somerville, Worcester has one in the works right now, and then East Hampton. And then there's a federal lawsuit right now in the state of Connecticut because there was actually a state law that basically had that same language. And Alliance Defending Freedom is leading that lawsuit, suing the state because they say that it's unconstitutional. It's an unconstitutional breach on freedom of speech, and that can't be allowed. So we'll see how that federal lawsuit plays out, and if that has any effect on these municipalities here in Massachusetts. And I did also hear about one in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh recently, in the past week or 2 weeks, just passed a similar law, except they did actually give a definition for what deceptive advertising means. And I ran that by one of the lawyers at Alliance Defending Freedom, and he still said that that's just insufficient and still allows the whoever's enforcing that law in that city to basically take advantage of it and do whatever they want. So,
all right, we're going to leave it right there. Joe, thanks so much for your time, and always thank you for reporting.
Thanks, Tracy.